Chapter 8 The Tale of Little Peter Poopypants. We crawl and we crawl and we crawl and we crawl. We crawl fast, we crawl slow. We crawl high, we crawl low. We go and we go and we go and we go until we see a glimmer of light. At last, I say, freedom! We climb out of the tunnel into the middle of a large vegetable patch. A little rabbit dressed in a blue jacket and a pair of brown pants hops towards us. Quick, he says, follow me or Farmer McRabbit Grabber will get you. Who's Farmer McRabbit Grabber? Says Terry. The little rabbit points to an angry, red-faced farmer running towards us. He is. Just wait until I get my rabbit-grabbing hands on you, little Peter Poopypants, booms the farmer. Then you'll be sorry. We run after the little rabbit as fast as we can. Quick, hide in here, says the rabbit, hopping into a large barrel. We dive in after him. Shh, he says, putting a paw to his lips. Don't make a sound. We hear the angry farmer go stomping past. The rabbit pokes his head up out of the barrel. He's gone, he says, but we should stay in here a little longer, just in case. Why is he so angry at you? Whispers Jill. How could anybody be mad at such an adorable little rabbit? I guess you haven't read the book, says the rabbit. What book? Says Jill. This one. He takes a book out of his jacket pocket and hands it to Jill. The Tale of Little Peter Poopypants. Story and pictures by Beatrix Potty. Jill laughs. Oh, I've read that book, she says. So you're that little Peter Poopypants. No wonder Farmer McRabbit Grabber is angry with you. Why? What happened? I say. How about I read the book to you, says Jill. It's pretty funny and it'll explain everything. Oh, goody. I love funny stories that explain everything, says Terry. Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Hoppy, Poppy, Lipperty Lopperty, and Little Peter Poopypants. They lived with their mother in a cozy 3-bedroom rabbit hole with views of tree roots from every window. Now, my dears, said Mother one morning, I must go out. While I'm gone, you may go down to the river and gather blackberries. But whatever you do not go into Farmer McRabbit Grabber's garden. He'll grab you and give you to Mrs. McRabbit Grabber to cook into a pie, just like your poor father. Big Pop Poopypants, Hoppy, Poppy, and Lipperty Loppy, who are good little bunnies, went down to the river to gather blackberries. But little Peter Poopypants, who was very naughty as well as very poopy, ran straight away to Farmer McRabbit Grabber's garden and squeezed himself and his little poopy pants under the gate. First, he visited the potatoes and he had a little nibble and he did a little poop. Next, he visited the peas and he had a little nibble and he did a little poop. And then he visited the pumpkins in Farmer McRabbit Grabber's precious pumpkin patch. And well, I think you can guess what he did. Then little Peter Poopypants began to feel rather tired from all that nibbling and pooping. So he lay down in the parsley for a short rest, but he soon fell fast asleep. While Peter was sleeping, Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber came along and found him. "Aha! You'll be sorry you ever pooped up my garden," he said as he grabbed a little Peter Poopypants roughly and dropped him into his sack. "I'll take you home tonight to Mrs. Rabbit Grabber, and she'll bake you into a delicious rabbit pie." Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber tied up the top of the sack and went back to his work. By and by, little Peter Poopypants woke up, realized what had happened, and started to cry. "Oh no, I'm trapped in Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber's sack. How will I ever get out?" Just then, along came a mouse called Thomasina Tittle. She had little Peter Poopypants crying. "Don't worry, little Peter Poopypants," said Thomasina Tittle. "With my sharp teeth I shall gnaw a hole in the sack and you'll soon be able to escape." Thomasina Tittle worked quickly and soon there's a tiny hole in the bottom of the sack. Little Peter Poopypants thanked Thomasina Tittle and wriggled through the hole, but not before filling the sack with enough poop to trick Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber into thinking you're still in there. When Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber had finished his work, he came back, picked up the sack and carried it home to Mrs. Muckrabbit Grabber and asked her to cook the contents of the sack into a pie. Later that day, when Mrs. Muckrabbit Grabber opened the sack and saw what was in it, she thought it was odd that her husband wanted it cooked for dinner, but nevertheless, she did exactly as he had asked. Come dinner time, Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber sat down to eat his pie. He took a big mouthful and then spat it all out again. "This pie is filled with poop, not rabbit," he shouted. "Little Peter Poopypants has tricked me. Just wait until I get my rabbit-grabbing hands on him." "And that's why Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber hates me," says little Peter Poopypants, "because I'm cleverer and smarter than he is, and because you made him eat a great big poopy pie," shouts Terry, laughing. "Quiet, Terry," I say. "Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber might hear you, and then he'll bake us all into a pie." "Too late," says Jill. "I think he's already heard us. Here he comes." We hear heavy footsteps stomping towards the barrel. "Aha," says Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber, peering down at us. "4 little rabbits for my dinner." He picks up the barrel and tips us into his sack. "No, you're making a big mistake," says Terry as we tumble in. "We are not rabbits." "What's this?" says Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber. "Not rabbits." He peers into the sack. "I know who you are. You're worse than rabbits. You're criminals. I saw your wanted poster in the post office this morning." "This must be my lucky day," says Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber. "A $117 billion reward and rabbit pie for dinner. I'll go and notify the Storey police right now, and in the meantime, I'll hang the sack up on this hook to make sure none of you escape." Farmer Muckrabbit Grabber ties the end of the sack shut, and we feel ourselves being lifted high up into the air. "Oh no," I say. "It's just like in little Peter Poopypants' story. Why don't we call Thomasina Tiltattle and ask her to gnaw a hole in the sack for us, says Jill. It's no use calling Thomasina Tiltattle, says little Peter Poopy Pants. She was eaten by Katy Kitten Whiskers just last week. Oh, that's very sad, says Jill. Not for Katy Kitten Whiskers. It wasn't, says little Peter Poopy Pants. She said Thomasina Tiltattle was delicious. We don't need Thomasina Tiltattle, says Terry. I can draw a dot that will make a perfect hole for us to escape through. Terry uses the pencil end of his spoonsill to draw a dot at the bottom of the sack. Jill, little Peter Poopy Pants, and I all squeeze through it and lower ourselves to the ground. Terry comes last, peeling the dot off the bottom of the sack. As he exits, Farmer McRabbit Grabber will never figure out how he got out of there, says little Peter Poopy Pants. But what if he reads our book? I say. We haven't even written our book yet, says Terry. And by the time we do, we'll be safely back in the treehouse. Look, I've drawn another dot, and this one can fly. Jump on, everybody. Wow, this is just like a magic flying carpet, says Jill, except it's a magic flying dot. Can you drop me off at my burrow? Says little Peter Poopy Pants. It's just down there near that big tree. We fly down and hover while little Peter Poopy Pants hops off the dot. Thanks for the ride, he says, and thanks for helping me escape from Farmer McRabbit Grabber. It was our pleasure, I say, and when we get home, I'll send you a pair of emergency anti-pooping pull-ups from our underpants museum. Then you'll be able to visit Farmer McRabbit Grabber's garden any time you want, and he'll never know you've been there. Yay, says little Peter Poopy Pants. We wave goodbye to little Peter Poopy Pants, and our dot rises into the sky and flies up, up, and away. Chapter 9. The Splat in the Hat. We fly, and we fly, and we fly, and we fly. We fly fast, we fly slow, we fly high, we fly low. We go and we go and we go and we go. We see a beautiful beach below. The sand is blue, the sea is green. It's the loveliest beach we've ever seen. We land the dot beneath a tree where we find a rug with food for 3 and a sign that says, "This picnic's free." We sit on the rug and start to eat, but then a big fat splat makes us jump to our feet. Oh no, I say, it's the Splat in the Hat. The free picnic for 3 was just a trap. Ha ha, it cries. You're right about that. Now, prepare yourselves for a splat attack. Take that, and that, and that, and that. We are covered in splats from top to toe. Come on, I say, let's go, go, go. We run to a house, we bang on the door, but the splats right behind us, and it splats us some more. The door opens wide, and 2 children say, "Quick, hide in here till the splat goes away." "Thanks," we say as we run on through, but the splat is too fast and gets in too. It splats the wall, it splats the floor, it splats the window, and it splats the door. It splats the dog, it splats the cat, it splats the fish, and it splats the mat. "Oh no!" cry the children. "Boo-hoo! Boo-hoo! Our house is all splattered, and we are too." "Don't cry," says Terry. "I know what to do. Prepare to meet Dot 1 and Dot 2. These amazing dots will make your home neat, because splats are their favorite things to eat. These desplatting dots eat splats for lunch and breakfast and dinner and snacks and brunch." Terry releases Dot 1 and Dot 2 and they get right to work. They know just what to do. They bite and they munch, they chomp and they crunch, they gobble and guzzle and slurp, and every so often they stop all the chewing and let out a very large burp. They desplat the dog, they desplat the cat, they desplat the fish, and they desplat the mat. They desplat the wall, they desplat the floor, they desplat the window, and they desplat the door. They desplat Terry and Jill and me, and in no time at all we're completely splat-free. They desplat the girl and they desplat the boy, and they're so happy they shout with joy, "Hooray! Hurrah! Calloo! Callay! Dot 1 and Dot 2 have saved the day. They came to our rescue when it really mattered, and now everything's clean and completely desplattered." My splats, cries the splat in the hat. "Oh, why did you have to do that?" The splat in the hat begins to cry. A big fat tear rolls out of each eye. It cries and cries and cries and cries. In fact, it cries so much that I'm happy to say it completely washes itself away. And that is the end of the big bad splat, and all that is left is its dotty old hat. Good work, Terry. Well done, says Jill. But I must confess that I'm feeling quite ill, for the Storey police are drawing near, and being captured is what I fear. Don't worry, says Terry. Fear not, for I have got another dot, the sort of dot that can become a yacht. And my inflatable underpants will make a great sail. We'll escape those police and the jail without fail. Chapter 10, where the wild things are. We sail and we sail and we sail and we sail. We sail fast, we sail slow, we sail high, we sail low. We go and we go and we go and we go. Look, says Jill, pointing to an island shape in the distance. There's an island. I hope it's a Treehouse desert island, says Terry. It looks a bit like it, except I don't remember our island having quite so many filing cabinets. Our island doesn't have any filing cabinets, I say, and this one has stacks of them, stacks and stacks, all stacked on top of each other. The day we sailed to an island that had stacks and stacks of filing cabinets, all stacked on top of each other. Our dotty yacht comes to rest on the shore, and we all climb out onto what should be a beach but doesn't look like one because weirdly there's no sand, not even a single grain. This is the strangest island I've ever seen, says Jill, looking around. There are no trees, no plants, no birds or any other animals, just filing cabinets. I wonder what's in them, says Terry. Let's have a look, I say. I grab the handle of a drawer marked P and try to pull it open, but it won't budge. It's locked, I say. I think they all are, says Terry, running from cabinet to cabinet, pulling at the drawers. Quite, says Jill. I can hear something. I think it's coming from the drawer you tried to open. Andy, we all lean in close. Let me out of here, says a small voice. For Pete's sake, let me out of here. We can't, I shout as loudly as I can to whoever or whatever is in there. The drawer is locked. Then for Pete's sake, get a key, says the voice. Try one of those drawers marked K. There's one over there, says Jill. Terry and I run over to the cabinet and try to open the drawer, but we can't. This drawer is locked too, I say. It doesn't matter, says Terry. I can use a dot to get the keys out. Terry draws a large dot in the middle of the filing cabinet drawer. He puts his hand into the dot hole and pulls out 3 keys. One each, he says, handing them out. Let's try them, says Jill. We rush over and open the P drawer. A blue and yellow parrot with a black eye patch and a wooden leg flies out and lands in front of us. Thanks, me hearties, he says. I thought I was going to be filed away for the rest of me days. Are you a pirate? Says Terry. Aye, that I be, he says. One-eyed Pete, the pirate parakeet, at your service. And who might you be? I be Terry, says Terry, and that be Jill, and that be Andy. Are you pirates too? Says One-eyed Pete. No, says Terry, but we did all work on a pirate ship for a while. Who locked you in that filing cabinet? Says Jill. It was that blasted filing monster, says One-eyed Pete. Blast and kiss its blasted filing fingers. A filing monster, says Terry. That sounds a bit like the monster in Mrs. Bignose's favorite book, where the file things are. It's a monster, all right, says One-eyed Pete. This used to be a beautiful tropical island. There were all sorts of animals living here. Turtles, monkeys, hippos, dinosaurs, giant rabbits, seals, until that crazy filing monster came along and filed everything. Do you mean the other living creatures trapped in these filing cabinets? Says Jill. Aye, missy, says One-eyed Pete. All the drawers are stuffed full, and not only with all the island's creatures, but the rocks and trees and sand and rivers as well. But why? Says Jill. Why would the filing monster do such a thing? Because it's a filing monster, says One-eyed Pete. That's what it does. Well, it's not right, says Jill. Let's put the island back the way it's supposed to be. The day we opened all of the filing monster's filing cabinets and let the island out. That's much better, says Jill, surrounded by grateful animals. I'd sure like to give that filing monster a piece of my mind for locking you all up. I think you might get your chance to do just that very soon, says One-eyed Pete, as the ground begins to shake, because here it comes! Thud, thud, thud! We can hear the monster chanting as it gets closer to us. Fee, fall, fo, fum. I love filing, it is fun. Fee, fum, to, fall. It's fun to file on my filing asile. I'm out of here, says Pete. When the filing monster finds out what's happened, it's going to be mad. And with that, Pete flies off towards the shore, lands on a dot yacht, and sails away. 'Cause I can't find my The rest of the animals fly and run and scurry and scuttle and dive for cover. I look around. I'm the only one left. Everybody's gone. Even Jill and Terry are nowhere to be seen. Psst, says Jill, peering out of a falling cabinet to a marked H. We're over here. Under H for hiding, says Terry. I run and join them, just in time. Thanks for listening. I'll be back with the rest of the chapters very soon. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell button for the latest updates. Bye for now.